If you've ever felt like your life is lacking in meaning or purpose, then maybe today's video is for you. This is the fourth video in a series of 7 videos about self-care in 7 different areas, and today's topic is spiritual self-care. This is finding meaning and purpose in life through things like mindfulness and meditation or prayer, spending time in nature, and engaging in activities that align with your values. I've created a free workbook that you can print to help you go through this series. So if you've got that printed, turn to the page on spiritual self-care, and if you're just working with a notebook or a piece of paper, just write spiritual at the top of your page and we'll get started. First thing we're going to do is take a moment to rate how you feel you're doing in this area of your life. There are a few options on the printable that you can choose from, or you can fill in your own. Once you're finished with that, we're going to turn our attention to the doing list. What are some of the things that you're already doing in your life to work on your spiritual self-care? Take a moment to fill out that side of the chart. And then you'll have a place to start from for working on your own personal spiritual self-care. The first specific activity I have on my list of ideas for spiritual self-care is meditation. And I have a couple of playlists that I've already created on this channel that I'm going to link to for you, because one is a list of meditation videos and the other is a list of videos all about mindfulness. Some of them are specifically on meditation, and especially meditation for beginners. The second specific spiritual activity I have on my list is prayer. And there are a few things you can do to get yourself started with a routine or a habit of prayer. The first thing I would suggest is to set aside a specific time of day that you're going to pray. And also think about the location. Where is a good place you can go to find some quiet time alone? And here are a few ideas of things to think about when you're starting to pray. One is to start with gratitude, expressing to God the things that you're grateful for in your life that you already recognize. Another is to share some of your worries and concerns. Share whatever's on your mind, whether it's positive or negative. It's also good to keep in mind others that you know that you may want to pray for because of concerns that you have for them or things that they're going through that are difficult. And meditation can be a part of prayer, and some people like to write their prayers down or make notes after the prayer about things that came to your mind while you were praying. Hopefully some of these give you some ideas, and really prayer can take lots of different forms, so it might be something that if it interests you, you might want to do a little bit of research on. Next is time spent in nature. This is something I've always found somewhat spiritually uplifting. From the time I was a little girl living out in the country, spending time outside in the backyard by myself, to the time that I was away from home for university, spending time studying or just sitting and thinking or writing out in the gardens at my university. And now that I'm an adult and a parent and I'm living out in the country again, it's something that I often draw peace and comfort and spiritual upliftment from. Now, a few of the items coming up on my list have also appeared in previous videos in this series, and I've gone into a little bit more detail in those videos about these topics. So be sure to watch those videos because they'll give you a full picture of some of these different ideas. So one of those is a gratitude journal, and I did show you my gratitude journal in a previous video, and this gratitude journal that I have has spaces for 3 things each day. We'll see if I can show you this here. So each day has a spot for 3 things that you're thankful for, and whether you have a gratitude journal or just a notebook, you can easily do that. What I've noticed about making a habit of keeping a gratitude journal, just 3 items a day, is that it really does make a difference to the way that I'm feeling in general about my life. And as far as spiritual well-being goes, it's recognizing God's hand in your life, and as you do so, it's like reinforcing this idea that you can trust God and that good things will continue to come. Even when you're going through difficult things in your life, you can trust that those blessings will continue to come just as they have in the past. And just as you can see all of the little good things in your life, you can believe and trust God that there are more to come and that He's going to continue watching out for you. Next is to perform acts of kindness, and I believe it was the last video that I talked about service, so go back and check that one out if you want to think about a few more detailed ideas for that one. You may want to look for a spiritual retreat or a workshop that's local that you could attend, or even a virtual one. spending time reading scripture or other spiritual literature can be very uplifting and enriching to study those things and to look further into the questions that you have and look for more details and answers to your questions. And finally, self-reflection. Think about and take the time to write down your beliefs, your values, and your goals. Then once you've figured out what your values are, you can choose to do things that align with them and not to do the things that don't align with them. Some of these spiritual self-care ideas lead me right into intellectual self-care, and that's what the next video in the series will be on, so stay tuned for that.